All right, so it's August 4th. It's Sunday. Since the last time we ran this duo on this topic, let's see, it was before the South Sudan game, right? So we didn't have that much. All we had was the exhibition games to go off of. Uh, but now we've seen them play South Sudan twice, and we've seen them play Puerto Rico, right? Puerto Rico. And what's crazy, bro, is you've watched both the games now, and both of those games, three of them. So it's three of okay. So the first one we did the first one, and then the South Sudan and the Puerto Rico is the one we haven't done yet. So those two games, you watch both of those two games, and what's crazy is in the middle of those games, it didn't seem like when you look at the final score, it's a little misleading. Like in this, like there's times, bro, where you're like, is this gonna be one of those down to the wire games? And I know you've got multiple opinions as to why you think that is. So I'm gonna go ahead. The first episode I brought in a little introduction. Now they know who you are. So now I'm gonna go ahead and give you the floor. I know you came with the car facts this time. I'm getting washed on two straight episodes with the notes. So Will washed me with the football, not PZ didn't wash me with the basketball, but that's all cool because I'm here to hang in there. And the floor is yours, brother. Let me know what you think needs to happen, and let me know why you think these games are so close, and I will fill in when you feel you need it.
All right, perfect. Perfect. Sounds good. Okay, so last time I was on here, last podcast,
Mm.
uh, I threw a lot of opinions out there. Didn't go off too much numbers and all that. Just went off strictly just watching the game and, my own personal opinions on how I felt about what I saw. This time, like you said, I came back with some car facts. So, not only did I watch the games multiple times just to make sure everything I'm seeing is 2020, but I went ahead and, looked at the stats lines and wrote down everything that proves, everything I was saying last time, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and get right into it. So
All right.
first
First
off,
point.
what you say?
That's the first point. Yeah, we said at the same time.
First point. Let's just touch back on the Serbia game, which was the first game, the one that we covered a bit,
Yeah.
the one that I drew most of my opinions off of. So when they played Serbia, and the best thing happened of Jason Tatum not touching the floor. They actually won every single quarter that game, and they smoked Serbia. Serbia has Jokic. They have a few other NBA players.
Yeah.
My personal opinion on that is Serbia is better than both South Sudan and Puerto Rico.
This is
I
true.
don't have to speak on Jokic. If you watch basketball, you know all his accolades from the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I personally believe that he is the best center in the league right now. Um,
Facts.
I don't even really think it's close. If Joel is second, I don't really think it's close. A few of the numbers, that I got right here should
Yeah.
prove that as well.
And
So
real quick, I know it's FIBA, but Joel is playing like bro, he's really altering the way I looked at him as a basketball player. Like I didn't know. I'm feeling bad for the Sixers watching him. And I'm like, it would suck to have to ride. I mean, now some games he's on, but it's like if his shot's not falling, off.
there's only so long that you can trust the process.
Yeah,
It's only so long. I mean, how long is the process supposed to take, man? Is the process that he's gonna go through a whole career and maybe his son is gonna grow up and finish the process? Because I'm just not seeing what I'm supposed to be seeing, man. I mean, he does have some great moments. Um, most of them were against Wembanyama, who was a rookie in
yeah,
that game that he scored 70.
that's
I
crazy.
mean,
That's crazy.
it is crazy. I seen him do great things, but on a consistent basis, Jokic is. I don't even think Joel wants to play when they see Denver on the
Yeah, he
on the
probably
map.
sits out. He probably sits
He
out.
definitely sits out, man. But so yeah, so they played Serbia.
Mhm.
Like I said, I think Serbia was better than both the last two teams that they played. In that matchup versus Serbia, like I said, they did win every single quarter. So I think that the starting lineup as well as the subs, I definitely don't agree with them because Steve Kerr was making them. But as far as comparing them to these other two games, I think they're best that game. So yeah,
Yeah.
that game. My main thing that I was saying last episode, I'm a big firm believer in Ant Edwards. He's the future. Me and you probably argue for the rest of our lives whether or not he should be in the starting lineup. You can't argue with the numbers, though. Me and you can argue. You can't argue with the numbers. So I'm gonna have you reiterate later on what exactly it was that made you believe him and KD was supposed to be coming off the bench.
Okay.
And we're gonna see if maybe you feel any differently after this discussion. So
Okay.
first things first, I just want to touch on Serbia game real quick because they currently have Booker starting over Ant. And in that Serbia game, in 26 minutes, Devin Booker had 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. This was on 4 of 6 shooting. This was in 26 minutes.
Okay.
In 19 minutes, which is almost a full quarter in Olympic basketball,
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Edwards had 11 points, so 1 less point, the same amount of rebounds. They both had 5, and he didn't get those 2 assists that Booker had above him. That's in a whole quarter less. He had 1 less point, same amount of rebounds, and 2 less assists. I'm not understanding. Let's reverse the minutes and see what happens. I'm going to just say that. Okay?
I'm
So,
with you.
the South Sudan rematch. Highly anticipated. We both were looking forward to that game. Timelines weren't matching up, so we couldn't do it. You feel me? But now is the time. So, as we both know, but don't know why, Tatum started that game.
Yeah, that was, I think we know. I think we know why.
We know why. Let's get into it.
Yeah,
Let's get into it. Because Tatum, crybaby, grown man, they call Big Deuce. That's Lil Deuce. I think the son calling the shots for real. That's Lil Deuce. We gonna call him Lil Deuce. So Lil Deuce had a whopping 0 points at halftime. I mean, how could you not be impressed? Am I right? Let's talk about how it was either the first possession or the second possession of the game.
First.
This also happened versus Puerto Rico. My man LeBron throws your everyday pass and ends up with a turnover because Tatum is being Tatum. Catch the ball. If we're gonna put you out there, catch the ball, dog. Why does LeBron, superhero, Captain America, have to start the game off with a turnover? Because Jason Tatum is in the starting lineup. So let's get him out of there, and I guarantee you he won't have a turnover within the first 3 minutes. We'll start there. Okay, so Tatum's stat line in 17 minutes in a starting position.
Okay.
After going 0 points in the first half, he ends up with a whopping 4 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 for 4 shooting. When your starter's taking 4 shots, I think it's safe to say he's not a scorer.
Yeah.
If you're not a scorer, you're a playmaker. With 2 assists, it doesn't seem there's a lot of playmaking going on. Okay, so you say you believe KD should come off the bench. Let's talk about what KD did off the bench. Tatum did that in 17 minutes, mind you. KD off the bench, 14 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. This is on 2 for 5 shooting. This is in 22 minutes. Now, if you think about it, 14 points on 2 for 5 shooting. They're fouling the hell out of my boy. Why are they doing that? Because nobody, not just in the United States, nobody on the planet Earth can guard my guy KD. And this is why he leads the Olympics in points and rebounds. Who brings the leader of points and rebounds off of the bench? That would be a guy named Steve Kerr. I mean, it's ridiculous. I didn't get to watch that video of everything Stephen A. Smith said, and
Uh,
I'm not sure if I've ever agreed with him before. But damn it, we might be the best of friends after I watch that video, man. Let me just say that. Okay, cool. So we got that established. KD, Tatum, one of them should be on the end of the bench the whole game, and one of them should be on the floor for a little bit longer.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's talk again. Booker versus Ant. You believe Ant should come off the bench? I believe Booker's prime is way behind him. One of them started in college, one of them did not.
For real?
For real, my boy. Now that team was stacked, yes. But if you don't start in college,
Yeah.
that matters. That matters. Okay, so let's get into it. So Devin Booker, stat line versus South Sudan in the rematch. 10 points, one single rebound, 6 assists. You know, he has displayed some playmaking skills. He did play point guard majority of the season for the Suns last year. Working with Chris Paul, you know, he's developed as a playmaker,
Mm-hmm.
which I definitely believed has taken away from his scoring. And naturally, he's a scoring guard. So we
Mm-hmm.
have a situation similar to Tatum. You know, a player with a lot of potential who's just not sure what he's supposed to be doing on the court.
I got you.
Puts the team in a tough situation. It might even lead to you being down in the first quarter to Puerto Rico.
That was crazy.
Crazy. So we'll get there in just a moment. So that was all in 22 minutes. As you know, Devin Booker also had 0 points in the first half. So
Wow.
we have two starters who go an entire half, the most important half. It's very important how you start. It's also important how you finish. But if you get off to the right start, you know, it'll make it very difficult for a team to get back in the game as opposed to going back and forth and then hoping that at some point the players on the court find that chemistry to go on a good run. Like the start is very important. So in 17 minutes, Ant had more points. He had 13 compared to Devin's 10. He had one rebound. He had 2 assists compared to Booker's 6. This was on 4 of 9 shooting,
Which
which
game was this?
this was South Sudan rematch.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, off the bench. This was in 17 minutes, which is a whole half of a quarter less of play time than Booker.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just gonna go on a limb here and say that if the minutes were reversed, there would be even a larger gap in points. The rebounds would probably be closer, and because they had the same, actually no, the assists would probably be closer, and because they had the same amount of rebounds, I'm gonna assume he would have more rebounds. Basically, just an overall better stat line. I mean,
Yeah.
he should be starting. It's so clear as day to me, man. Okay, so that brings us to the most recent game, the
Mm-hmm.
most important game.
The most fun one,
As of now,
honestly.
as of now, because I believe this game, you know, we played down for some of it. Even more of it was a close back and forth. I'm just gonna say this, Steve. You're really on the thin line right now, Steve. You're walking the thin line right now, man. Listen, you're gonna be on the end of the bench next to Tatum. You keep tweaking with us, man. I promise you are. Okay, so with another starting appearance, Jason Tatum had 10 points, 4 of 9. Not terrible, not enough to wear a Kobe jersey either. A Kobe number jersey, I should say. 10 rebounds. That's good. You finally remembered that you're 6'9" and you got a little closer to the basket. Congratulations, my brother. A double-double. Who would have thought this could ever happen?
Okay.
3 assists. Not bad. But hey, if you doing better means that we're going to lose the first quarter, I'd rather you play like shit. Just be quite frank. Hey, I mean, let's just be honest here. If that means that we're going to be down, I'm going to look at the score and it's going to say that Puerto Rico has more points than us. I just, that's not something I trade. That's not something I would trade to see
I
that.
respect that.
Okay, boom. So we're going to compare that to KD once again, because honestly, these are the two. This is who he's subbing in for. This is who should be starting over him.
Mhm.
This is probably who he looked up to when he wasn't too busy wishing he was Kobe. I'm not going to go too far. I'm just going to say wishing he was Kobe. Okay. KD in 19 minutes, which again is almost a half of a quarter less than what Tatum played. He had more points, only by one, but 4 less minutes. He had 4 rebounds, so Tatum got him on the boards. You gotta beat him in something. And I mean, you got the starting spot. You got more minutes. You gotta beat him in something. And same amount of assists. So when it comes to facilitating, there's 0 times that I'm gonna want you on the floor over KD. So that's just what that is. This is on 4 of 8 shooting, so it's just more efficient in less amount of time. Steve, I'm gonna ask again. What the hell are you doing? So let's get into Joel Embiid.
Okay.
Because if you remember, I said AD should be starting.
Yeah.
What to do with Joel? Let's just send him to
Cameroon.
Cameroon. Go play for them. We don't want you. We don't want you. We don't. I promise you we don't. Okay. So in 23 minutes, which is a good amount of play time, he had 15 points, solid. At 7 foot tall, he had 3 rebounds.
Yeah, he's got that AD curse.
Are you running away? When you see the ball come off the rim, are you running away? Like where are you?
How do you have 3 rebounds?
How do you have 3? Are you, unless you're running away from the ball?
Yeah.
Where are you going? Like, where are you when the shot goes up? Where are you? I don't know. Can somebody tell me? Okay. 2 assists. Good job. If they're sending doubles at you, you gotta pass it. Somebody's going to be open. And I don't know if you want to high five for that. Let's talk about the 15 points for a second. 6 of 14 shooting.
He shot terrible.
He shot the ball 14 times.
Yeah, and it wasn't like he was he actual shot, not a layup. Yeah, he was actually shooting the ball.
Who do you think you are? 14 shots. You missed 8 shots. You made 6 shots. This is in 23 minutes. The efficiency is awful.
And what really sucks is that he was getting a lot of those shots. He was shooting them when the game was over, and it should have been stat pad time. It's when you should have been getting the easy buckets, and he's like, "All right, let me join the party.
Let me just start jacking up shots like I'm Michael Jordan in '98. My God, pass the rock or go sit out. Did you see him at the beginning of the game when, almost as soon as the ball? Matter of fact, I think it was the first possession. And I think Brian tried to throw it into him, and he's grabbing his back on the first possession of the game.
Come on, bro.
Bro, if you hurt, go sit on the bench. We don't even want you.
Yeah, this is the country on the line.
Bro, this is a gold medal. I know you've never won anything in your life, but there's a first for everything if you go sit on the bench. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm glad we established that he's off. So, AD, let's talk about what AD did with his 15 minutes. Basically, a whole quarter less of play time. AD in 15 minutes, 10 points. This is on 3 of 4 shooting. Let's just pause there for a second.
Yeah.
Let's think about if AD took 14 shots. He's 75%. he shoots that ball 14 shots, what's he gonna make?
About 10. We'll say 10.
I'm gonna say, let's say 10. Let's say 10. That's 20 points. That's 20 points in 23 minutes. That's good stats. Okay. So with that, 6 rebounds in 15 minutes with a whole nother quarter, let's say 10. So let's say 20 and 10. Let's compare 20 and 10 to 15 and 3. Then he added on to that 3 assists in just 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So let's give him another 8. We'll say 5 just to be calm. Because AD, it's not like AD is out here John Stockton. We'll say 5. 10 and 5. If we give AD Joel Embiid minutes,
Mm-hmm.
that can change a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd assume that we won't be down by 4 points in the first quarter. I'd like to assume that.
Yeah, Joel's out there playing like he's in Philly. Like when he gets the ball, like he'll sit there, take a whole possession, back down, pump fake, throw up a fade. Like, bro, this is not that. Like, if your look is not there, pass it. Like someone else knows how to look.
Come off that rock. If it's not there, and it's getting to the point where even if it is there, come up off that rock. Come up off that rock, dog. Let somebody give it to you when you wide open. Because I'm not trusting the process. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not trusting it no more. The trust is out the window. I don't want to see that rock in his hands any more than I want to see him on the court.
Yeah, if anything, to stick to defense, Joel. And without fouling. He gets a lot of dumb fouls. And he's like, what? Bro.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I only grabbed him.
I'm just trying to be physical. I can't be physical. I saw him saying once, I can't be physical. No, bro.
What we gonna trust the process? But then when a fingernail touches him on his 17th pump fake, if a fingernail touches him, you want that foul. Come on, man. What are we doing?
Okay, who's
and
next?
You know my favorite comparison. I saved it for last on this one. Ooh wee. Hey, just know the person that's on this side of me. He said Ant should be coming off the bench. Just remember that. Okay. Devin Booker, your starting shooting guard. I'm going to leave it there. In 17 minutes, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. That's definitely bench stats. That's definitely coming off the bench stats. This is on 3 of 9 shooting, so you missed twice as many shots as you made.
Mm-hmm.
There's a nice spot on the bench next to Halliburton, right there for you, my brother. Have a seat. Do some cheering. We could really use your words of encouragement and a few more claps from the bench. We help the players up if you see them fall. Brian might need that sometimes.
Yeah.
But just go get comfortable. They got some nice cushions on there that I saw. You might have a blast over there. All right. So in 17 minutes, the same amount of minutes that Devin Booker got, the man you said should come off the bench, and the man I said is the future GOAT. 26 points, which led the team.
Mm-hmm.
Let's stop there for a second, because with 4 minutes left, Steve Kerr took him out of the game, and I turned off my television.
Took him out at 26? No, should let him go for that record.
Should have let him go for the record. So that's both for the 2 last games. He's only getting 17 minutes. So a little over a quarter and a half.
Mm-hmm.
26 points. Led the team by a good margin. 3 rebounds, 3 assists. But let's focus again on the 26 points.
Mm-hmm.
Because this was on 11 of 15 shooting. The same game that your top 2, top 3 center in the league, top 3 player. He's been in the MVP votings the last couple seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Went 6 for 14 with 15 points. Joel should be coming off the bench as well, and Ant should be starting. Tatum hasn't made a jump shot in the Olympics.
I don't think I have seen him hit a jumper.
He hasn't. Oh, this is on the Carfax. This is on the Carfax, dog. This is valid. So if you don't want to start Ant over Booker, which is obviously the right choice, explain to me how he's not better than the man that's also scoring 0 points at half and ends the game with 4 points. We got to get Tatum out of there. We have to get Tatum out of there, and if we don't, then we have to get Steve out of there. And I trust that whoever comes next will make the right choice.
Okay, so that was a wonderful introduction. And I must say, believe it or not, I agree with a lot of it. But I think you would be surprised that you and Steve in certain contexts might possibly be on similar pages. I bet this, right?
Stephen A. Smith? Is that what Steve you're talking about?
Here's what I honestly think, right? If we because Steve Kerr's got KD coming off the bench, right?
He does.
If we were to ask Steve Kerr to list the best players on the team, KD's not going to be out of the top 5.
Oh.
I mean, even if you were to say top like 3, top 4, I think Steve's going to put KD second.
Okay.
So I think that what you disagree with is I'm sure you probably understand this, but say for whoever's watching, I also want to make it clear for them.
Right.
It's not that he thinks Devin Booker's better than Ant. I don't think it's that he thinks Tatum's better than KD. I think he's trying to look at the whole big picture of like the game, and he's like, okay, how can I have 2 of the best? I think he wants both lineups to be starting lineup worthy. I think he basically wants his bench to be as good as a starting lineup and his starters to be as good as a starting lineup. And I think that is why, because like, bro, me personally, I have to admit, when I'm watching the games and I see it's close, I never get nervous because I know we're not throwing our biggest punches yet. Like, I'm like, we still have so much to offer that we haven't even seen on the court yet. So it's like when these teams are out here and they say they're going their all, and they're like, okay, it's a close game, and KD and Ant are coming off the bench. But then when they come off the bench, who do those guys got coming off the bench? It's like, so now KD and Ant, not that they're playing any type of lesser competition at all, but it's like now you got another lineup that they got to put out versus another USA starting lineup. Like, it's like we literally, I feel like it makes us seem like we have no weak spots when realistically, if you were to put the top 5 best players, obviously positioned with like you can't just put the top 5 best out there. I mean, we probably could, but like, not that we're going to do that. But I bet if you were to take the top 5 players on just the best players on the USA team and put them in the starting lineup, like say who you think should be the starters, and then take that bench unit, the best bench unit that you think should be put out there, I'm sure that bench unit will still have success against the other people. But I think in Steve Kerr's mind, he likes having, like, it sounds weird saying the words, he likes having some of his best players come off the bench, but the words don't make sense. But I think he wants to come with a right hook, then a left hook, then a right hook, then a left hook, then a right hook. He wants both units to be dominant. So he's trying to sprinkle. Like, honestly, I don't want to see KD and Ant on the floor with Steph and LeBron, because I think that Steph and LeBron would knock them out their rhythm unless Steph and LeBron were just completely passing. Like, I think KD and Ant, they need freedom. Like, they need to be able to go out there and, like, if they feel something, like we were saying with Jason Tatum or Joel earlier, like, look, if you don't have a look, pass it. It's not like that with KD and Ant, but if they're out there with Steph and LeBron, then they might be hearing them voices, where I feel like them being out there, like Katie and D Wade said this too, and I think I don't know if it was to you personally or I think it was personally. I said it before we filmed, but like I think I was like, "Yo, Katie and Ant, I think Ant loves playing. Like they like playing with each other." And D Wade was like, "I think they're each other's favorite player."
Favorite player, yeah, I saw that, and they are. They truly are.
And I think you see that, like, and I think Ant sees Katie go off. He's like, "All right, bet, let me get in," and then back and forth. I like seeing those two leading the bench unit because then they go in there, right? They put us up 10. Then you bring LeBron instead. Now, Jason Tatum, look, I'm with you on them. Maybe before he got the start, I may have been like, nah, Tatum's got to be in there. But I said this before. When you like, imagine being a player, right? And the coach takes you up, puts you on the bench or something, and you're upset about it. And you make a big enough of a hassle to get put into the starting line, or you get the opportunity you want. At that moment, how you handle that opportunity, like, directly affects like how much room you have to complain if you don't play again. So like he made that whole big deal, and then he comes off the bench and he starts the next game, and then he has 0 points in the first half. That should have been it for Tatum. Like, take him off the bench. I understand. Like, yeah, bring him off the bench. Maybe, like you said, he's thinking too much. Like, he doesn't know. Maybe put him out there with the scrubs. Like, maybe that's when we see him catch a rhythm, when he's like, okay, well, this is built more like an NBA team. So, I'm the number one option out here. I'm top two options. So now, but you put Tatum out there with them dudes, he's like, why would I shoot if we got Steph here or LeBron here? And I don't want Ant or KD having those thoughts.
Okay, that honestly, that just definitely made me think in a different light about some of it, not all. But I heard everything you said.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from. I feel like I need to bring you up to speed a little bit. So I'm glad you said that Tatum with some scrubs coming off the bench would probably be much better, because you're absolutely right. And it's the same for Booker. They would get more shot. I mean, they would be more confident with those minutes.
Almost Steph's almost creeping into that convo, bro.
He is, but I don't want to talk about Steph. We'll get on him. We'll save him for the end. And we'll just talk just Steph at the end. That sounds, how's that sound? Because I know you got a lot to say, and I bet a lot of people have a lot to say about how Steph been performing.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, I feel like it's first and last Olympics. I mean, you walking the thin line with Steve. You and Steve. Y'all walking the thin line right now.
But he's missing an open shot. Steph I'm talking about like more open than he would ever be in the NBA, and he's missing. I'm like, oh.
They're saying that the line is too
close. I
just
want to say that.
Yeah, I'm not hearing that.
Nah, he shoots all over the court. That's not affecting him.
It's not.
He's missing.
Exactly. Okay, so you also admitted how ridiculous it sounds to have best players on the team coming off the bench. You want to know why that sounds ridiculous? Because it is ridiculous. So, because maybe you think basketball is a little different than any other sport, I'm here right now to tell you that it's not, and the best players should start. So the next time you think about saying that you think some of the best players should come off the bench, let's go ahead and bring Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb off of the bench and start their replacements. That way, in the second half, when they're down by 4, like we were to Puerto Rico after the first quarter, Dak and CeeDee could come in with the 1-2 punch.
Here's how it's different, though. Here's how it's different, because they're both offensive players. On USA, like, Drew Holiday's not better than Steph Curry, but he's better at defense than Steph. So when the USA team needs a stop or something, they put Drew Holiday out there. KD, KD is the second best player on the team. I think everybody knows that. But when you do have your players that need a rest, okay, put this. Say you have KD, Ant, the starting lineup you wanted, put them out there on the floor, right? So now
Right.
let's just say we're up 8. Okay. Now first quarter, that's reasonable, right? We're up 8 first quarter. KD's hitting, great quarter. And
We'd
as
be
far
up 16, but we could say 8 though, for your point.
okay, 8-16. Now when they need rest, who if KD and Bron and Ant and Steph and AD are all getting their rest. Now let's say when the second unit comes in, let's say the other team goes in a little bit of a run and they bring that game close. Now the same people that you don't like in the starting lineup, now we have to rely on these guys to stop the bleeding. So now what you find is just like we see with LeBron, sometimes with the Lakers, now we got to start leaning on these people. Now we got to start leaning into these guys way too much because the bench did messed it all up and let them come back in the game. And now they got to stop their rest early. But this way, yeah, you sprinkle some of your best in one lineup, right? So then you sprinkle some of your best in the second one, and then it's a consistent flow of separation and dominance.
The game is 40 minutes long. These games are 40 minutes long. These players are playing no more than 23
That's
minutes.
facts. That's
Have
facts.
you seen anybody except Joel Embiid get tired?
No,
Because I haven't.
that's facts.
So,
It's shorter games and it's not a whole 82 game season. That's facts.
so nobody's getting tired. Um,
LeBron's going hard out there. LeBron ain't
Le-
reserving nothing.
exactly. South Sudan, we're not even talking about Brian. We're gonna get to him later when we get to Steph. South Sudan, North Puerto Rico is coming back from an 8 to 6 point lead, as we just saw. I mean, once we get that lead, it's over with. So why are we not starting our best players, taking the lead, and then if somebody does need a breather, which they don't, I would play this starting five for the whole 40 minutes and let these other players watch. But we'll be reasonable. When they need a break, you work them in. This is what's the difference between the Olympics and how we're subbing and when we're trying to win the NBA finals. Because we're bringing the best five off the bit off starting the best five all season long when we're trying to win the finals, correct?
Yeah.
Why are we switching it up in the Olympics?
Now I'm no coach. I would assume
Right.
because because you take in you have an NBA team. You only have there's a salary cap. There's like a certain amount of talent on an NBA team. So like who on your and an NBA squad, you only have 2 or 3 people that can really carry in the first place. But when you here, I forgot to mention this point too. Here's what I really think should happen. I think the lineups is right, but where you're spot on is the minutes. Like if you want to start out for the lineup's sake, if you want to start out Tatum or something like that for like a first, like okay, I use a different name.
Bro, we cannot
Yeah, he had
start.
0 points.
He
He had
has
0 points.
not made a jump shot. We cannot start Tatum anymore.
Okay,
We
so
will lose to Canada. We will lose to Canada, bro. I need to say that now because if you're watching this and you see Tatum start versus Canada and we lose, I need you to come back to this video and I need you to say, wow, does this guy see the future? Because sometimes I think I just might. And if Tatum starts and has 0 points in the first half and does not make a jump shot, I mean, they can take Dylan Brooks right off of him and go put him on LeBron. I mean, that might not slow Captain America down, but we're basically playing 4-on-5 when Tatum is on the court. We can't start him.
okay. So we don't use Tatum.
Okay.
But if you I think when you have the ability, for instance, and the reason I went into the minutes point is because take the Miami Heat, what they used to do, or most teams when they get like a bunch, like when they get like a big three, like a super team, they don't always have those 3 guys. Like they'll start out together, but then throughout the game, you find some way to, if one of that big 3 needs a rest, 2 are on the floor, one's getting a break, and then you like mix and match and you try to figure out a way spread it out like that. I think that's what Steve Kerr should do. Like, regardless of the starting lineup, he needs to look at the minutes played and focus on getting the best players the most minutes. So I think like Ant should definitely have top 5 minutes. KD should have like, bro, when he comes out there, he starts scoring instantly. I think KD should lead the team in minutes. But the way LeBron's facilitating, it's like he literally comes out there and basically just hand feeds everybody points. Bro, when he came into the game, that Puerto Rico, they're just straight wham, 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 wham. I'm like, wow.
It was like when Captain America picked up Thor's hammer and the Avengers got all that confidence and they start winning.
Start going crazy.
That's exactly what it was. So let me just elaborate on something to you. The best I can, just one last time. I'm really hoping that after this, we can come to an agreement and lead us in the past before we get to these next episodes. The whole concept of a starting lineup and a bench is that one of these groups is supposed to get the most minutes. You get that, right?
No, that's not always true though. That's not
when is it? When is it not? When is it not?
It should be, but there's this 6 man people that win 6 man of the year. They don't play the 6 most minutes. They be playing like top 5 in minutes. When them dudes,
Who?
Like J.R. Smith, or the dude for the Nuggets. What was
J.R. Smith never won 6 man of the year, bro.
Yeah, he did.
When?
Bro, J.R. Smith has got like a whole case full of them things.
Bro, pull it up.
Or am I thinking Jamal Crawford?
You're thinking Jamal Crawford.
Okay, Jamal Crawford. He used to be out there in the 30s with the minutes.
Bro, Jamal was my favorite player.
And J.R. Smith won it in 2013 with the Knicks.
With the Knicks? Okay, with Melo.
Yeah. You would think.
Okay, but JR should have been starting. I mean, who did they have? Raymond Felton in there?
I'm thinking, like, why wasn't he starting? But
I'm glad you say that. Because I feel like we're finally starting to see eye to eye a little bit. I think the fact that I didn't remember that he won it was because he was never supposed to be it.
This is Knicks, though. We got to remember him and Carmelo both went from Denver to New York. So this is Knicks.
Yeah, I remember that.
So let's see.
He started on the I know he started sometimes on the Knicks.
Oh yeah, he started. He
definitely started on the Nuggets.
J.R. Smith is a hooper, but those are like it's that type of idea though, because like having them dudes come off the bench was like as soon as the starters come off, now you got Jamal in there, playing like a starter, but he's going against the bench. So then the starters come back in, and it's like, look, it's like we never left,
brother. When these guys are coming off the bench, the players that they're replacing. Matter of fact, let's get right to it. When these players are winning 6 man of the year, their teams are losing. These are losing teams. When has that happened and the team won the finals? Because that's what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to go all the way and win.
The Nuggets last year, and the Nuggets 2 years ago
had the 6 man of the year.
Reed Harris. What was his name? Reed Harris.
Who?
Let me see. Hold on. Just doing my little research here.
Do that research, dog. Dude, because KCP did not win 6 man of the year.
Nah, it was that big man the Nuggets had came in the game playing crazy. Anyways, we'll come back to it.
No. We got to finish this. If we gonna come back to it later, then for now, let's agree that a 6 man of the year did not go on to win the NBA Finals.
I think that's something that's had to have happened. And also the 2013 Knicks was a solid team, and then the Denver Nuggets guy, they may not win a champ, but they was a good team.
Are we trying to be a good team? Are we trying to win a gold medal?
Well, I think we're gonna have 6 man of the year regardless with the gold medal. D Wade hold on. Ooh, now I got you. Because in 2008, D Wade led the team in points and he came off the bench. And we won gold.
Kobe was starting over him.
He still came off the bench though.
Like Anthony Edwards said, they don't have a Kobe.
Okay. And again, Great point, but that's just the way that it can happen. Like you could come off the bench hooping. Wade won them. He won them a game that year.
If it
Like,
needs to happen, I can agree with it. If
okay,
there's somebody that's better than him that should be getting more minutes, because Booker is getting more minutes.
I got you.
And
He's trying. Steve Kerr's trying too hard. He's
he
trying too hard to seem like like all jokes aside, he's trying too hard to seem like a genius. KD and Ant and LeBron are having those three. I think it's a tie between KD and LeBron for who's having the best Olympics. Ant's right there, especially if you include exhibition games. And AD's got to be fourth, right?
Right.
AD's got to be fourth. Them dudes alone, and then that fifth one, do what you will. Steph better start hitting. Steph better start hitting, or Steph's going to get put in a unit where he can shoot like he's the only player on the floor. Because LeBron, like they're getting him open looks. It's gotten to the point now, like the commentators said it, but I don't want to just straight bite what they were saying. But I was thinking it. I'm like, is he not like what is it? He not used to this? Is it too much? I'm like, wait, nah, he played with KD and Clay. So he knows what it's like to have to play with a super team, bro. I don't know he's got to start hitting. I need my boy to hit because if Steph's now he is playing good, he's playing decent defense, better defense than I'd expect him to play. But if he's not hitting threes, I'm taking Drew Holiday's defense over you, Steph.
If he's not hitting threes, I'm taking Drew Holiday's defense. If he's not hitting threes, I wouldn't mind Derek White starting over there. If he's not hitting threes, Halliburton could at least start and have 10 assists.
Yeah.
So, Steph, congratulations. You made your way onto Zay Talks 824, and we are now going to fry you up, my guy. When you're not hitting shots, what value do you bring to the team besides having someone chase you around the court when there's still 4 other players on the court that are being guarded as well?
Yeah, other than attention and other than just his presence, but like,
but you're not LeBron. You're present. You're not putting that much fear in the other team until you've made 4 or 5 threes. Making 0, I might just start leaving you open, to be honest. Yeah. I'm just being honest. I mean, especially if we're up 29-25 on you in the first quarter.
Bro, I bet
I'm not going to be face guarding you around the court. Let's be honest.
I bet for I'm not just my energy.
Grand Theft Alvarado looked better than Steph Curry that game.
Yeah, he did go off a little bit.
He went off a lot of bit compared to Steph.
I would bet Steph Curry's 3-point percentage is probably nowhere. It's probably not even top 5 on the team, bro.
Probably not.
He's probably shot the most threes and missed the most.
100%. I've seen Steph. I wasn't a Steph fan for a long time, and a lot of that had to do with my complete bias that I have no problem admitting to, because I wanted LeBron James to win 10 NBA Finals in a row. But with that being said, I still have seen Steph not come through in a lot of big moments.
Bro, that's all he used to do in the beginning of his career.
I've seen Steph drop the ball a lot of times, and I think because of that, I'm not really surprised what's happening right now. It's not like he's always been the best player in every moment. It's not like without Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, he would have won a single championship. It's not like he doesn't have 1 Finals MVP and 4 Finals appearances. It's not like game on the line, I want Andre Iguodala to shoot the ball. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, personally, it's not like these weren't things. These things did happen, and Max Keller, I think it was, he didn't say that for no reason.
Well, and also that year, but number one, Steph was definitely like, we hadn't seen him hit no big shots. But Iggy used to be hitting. Iggy used to turn into MJ in the clutch.
Iggy was going crazy. Iggy was doing what he had to do because Steph was dropping the ball.
Yeah, I remember back in Philly too. I remember he did, bro. Iguodala, he had some McGrady moments back in Philly where you're like, whoa.
He had some LeBron moments back in Philly, bro. He was insane. I mean, the athleticism has always been off the charts. The fact that he was that effective in Golden State, he was not even in his prime. That's
Mhm.
impressive. Like LeBron James could do what Iguodala is doing for another 15 years.
Yeah.
He could. So we touched on Steph. Let's go into the role players. You told me that you posted something on Facebook.
Hmm.
So I reactivated my account. And one of the first things I noticed when doing so is your profile picture, my friend.
That was after the Sedan game.
It was
Hey,
after the Sedan game.
yeah, yeah, and I changed. Didn't I change it? I
No, you didn't change it,
changed it
but
back
you
to me.
should. But no, you didn't change it, but you should have changed it because in 22 minutes
He
versus
played
Puerto
22
Rico,
minutes. Wow.
22 minutes.
How
This
many
is
times
more
played?
than KD. This is
Oh,
more than Anthony Davis. This is more than Anthony Edwards. This is more than Devin Booker, which I'm not too mad about that. But the other three, just to have 2 points,
he shot. I know he shot 2 threes. Cause I watched him miss 2 in a row.
2 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists in 22 minutes.
That's crazy.
This is who you spoke highly of. This is who you made your profile
Hey, he
picture.
had a good game, Sudan versus South Sudan. I just forgot to change it, but
He
he
had a
he
good
tripped out.
game.
He tripped
He
out
did.
last.
He had a good game. If you look at his stats, there is nothing he's done that Jalen Brunson, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard on a bum knee, James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, maybe a few steals, but when we're talking overall, who I'd rather have on the
Oh yeah,
court
yeah, yeah, yeah.
in an Olympics game where we're trying to win a gold medal,
Should have been Paul George.
dog,
Paul,
there's too many stars that are at home right now. While Derek White and Halliburton, who had 0 points, 0 rebounds, and 0 assists in 10 minutes.
I tell you, hey, Derek White gonna glass that shot though.
He
He,
is.
he gonna glass his shot. That's the
He
only
is.
thing.
And you
That's
know
the
what he's
only thing.
also? He is. You're on your computer, right?
Yeah.
Can we pull up the picture that I sent?
The picture that you sent.
The picture that I sent you of the 5-on-2 fast break that you
Oh.
that your beloved Derek White, who is now your profile picture.
Not anymore. It's me now.
Okay, good, because
A couple hours ago.
it should have been you after I sent you that picture. We both saw that play. How do we get a 5-on-2 fast break and end up with 0 points in an injured Drew
I was
Holiday?
about to say a roll ankle.
Dog, come on, we gotta do better.
Drew was probably
Who put the team together?
Drew Holiday he's probably looking. He was so confused that he just forgot how to take the step. Like
Drew
his
was probably the one who didn't call out that screen when Derek White took that elbow to the back that he deserved.
uh,
So I don't know if he called himself getting back at Drew, but definitely would rather have Drew on the court than 2 points, 1 rebound, and 2 assists in 22 minutes.
hey, Drew Holiday, although it was an exhibition game, he showed me that hey, his shot's good enough. His shot's good enough to say, oh, he's not just out there just because of defense. He'll go out there and get some buckets too. Because I saw him in the playoffs, he hit like 30 one time. I was on Prize Picks, so he's not going to do that again. Took his last, went crazy again. Oh wow!
I know exactly what games you're talking about. Without Drew Holiday, the Celtics do not win a championship, and neither do the Bucks.
Facts. So let's say, okay, how about this? Because I am we are pushing the time before I do got slide back. But what I can say is this: at least we are in a country that has a team so stacked that we disagree on the starting lineup. But I tell you what, Tatum, I can't vouch for him anymore. But there's something sweet about although maybe it's because I like the rush. I like seeing the close game and then seeing KD have to
That's
come in.
exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And it's cool and all. It's cool and all until you lose to Puerto Rico or Canada or worse because we're bringing the best players off the bench. I mean, I got one more thing for you to think about. You know, just hoping and praying that before next episode you realize these folks need to be starting.
Uh,
So you say you can't compare it to football because there's an offense and a defense. I respect that. Even though KD and Ant are both better offensively and defensively than
yeah.
Tatum.
That's what I started thinking about. That's was like, okay, wait,
Yeah,
KD plays both, Ant plays both.
exactly. So we'll just say UFC because I want you to get the big picture like a knockout. Like a knockout would give you. It gives you the big picture. Who's better? You can tell when you see somebody get their head knocked off, right? Okay. So, main event is 5 rounds, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Bringing your best players off the bench is like taking it easy the first 2 rounds and counting on yourself to win those last 3.
That's what Gervonta Davis does. That's what Floyd does.
That's a 10-round fight. That's a 10-round fight with 2 undefeated fighters. You cannot compare to undefeated, one of the best boxers of all time, and his prodigy to Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, and these other players that's in the starting lineup.
But like the concept of fighting, no, that is there though. Like they think, like, okay, I got a secret move. They're like, if I show that too early and he counters it, then I'm screwed. So it's like you wait till the right time to bring out your flashes for sure. But even then, basketball, that's more unacceptable than it is in basketball because you can get knocked out and get slept because you took too long.
Whereas I said UFC. You brought up boxing.
okay, UFC.
We gotta lock in. We gotta see eye to eye on something.
You can say there's definitely, bro. There's UFC fighters, like it's a fighting style. Like they're like, all right, if I got this move in the back pocket, but I'm gonna wait until the right time. Like I'm gonna wait until I'm gonna set him up, and once I see that green light, wham, then I'm gonna do it.
I've seen more losses than wins come from that. I've seen it. Leon Edwards got Kamaru Usman.
Yeah.
But what happened after that?
No,
Kamaru Usman lost to Chimaev. That same fashion.
Leon just lost because he waited too long. I mean, it's possible.
Volkanovski, he waited too long to get on Islam. Listen, you leave it up to decisions. I don't want to see a USA game come down to a final shot. That would really upset me because our team is far superior to all of the other teams in there right now.
Hey, I was thinking of something now. So I saw earlier we're tied with China right now. Like both got 19 gold medals. Bro, how dope would it be? Like, what if we was tied and then we hit like a game winner? We hit a game winner to win the gold and to win the whole Olympics. That would be nuts.
Versus China, is that where you were going with that?
Nah, like because China, like overall of all the sports, like they got 19 gold medals right now. USA's got 19. So I was saying, like, what if like we both were like 26, and then it came down to US like in the championship round, and then we get the final gold? That would be crazy. But nah, like,
what if we just win like we're supposed to? How about that? What if we just blow everybody out and start our best lineup and just win without ever having to wonder, are we literally about to lose to Puerto Rico?
So, okay, so, and you said this earlier. Now, I'm not saying that like there's definitely ways for what you're saying. Like, I can completely agree too. But like, right. But there's precautions that you'd have to take. So like, if you have the starting 5 in there, and then the people that you're saying you don't want in the starting lineup because they're ass, they suck, whatever you want to call them. Obviously, I know you don't truly think these guys suck, but they just shouldn't be playing over the people.
I think Tatum is horrible. I think Tatum is in terrible bad. I think I might beat him in one-on-one. I feel that way a lot of times. I really do. I really do, man.
Let's just say this though. So let's say he is that bad, right?
Right.
And then you take out the starting lineup needs their break. What if the bench starts tripping? Then just naturally now you may get the starters all the rest they need, but the final score is still going to be like they're going to get in the game and it's going to be closer than it should be. Like you need one star. I think it like I don't know who it's going to be. You can make it Steph, but we need some star in the second unit so that I can sit back and be like, all right, I don't have to hope that someone gets a good look to make a shot here. Like I want someone out there that can take over this game in this moment if they needed to. So make it Steph, but I want to see somebody out there. I don't want to see a whole bench lineup of the people that shouldn't be playing. Like give me Steph, Joel. I mean, I can't sit here and just throw out a bench lineup off the top of my head like that. But you just give me some shot creator. Give me a shot creator that's a bucket in the second lineup. I don't care who it is. But if I can sit back when the starters come out and say it's a 10-point game, I'm like, all right, I know. Make it Steph. Run around, shoot all the shots you want to shoot. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm cool with that. I don't need to see. That's the worst part of basketball to me is when the bench got to come in. Like, you know, I used to hate when Kobe used to come out in the game. Like, I'm finna stop watching now. The starters are out, and I peek in, like, wait till the bench to come. Like, you know, like. So I think when you have, that's why this is so cool to me because I'm like, all right, this is the bench, KD and Ant. It's like.
Let me tell you why.
I love it.
Let me tell you why. If you bring these players off the bench, they're not gonna shit the bed per se.
Okay.
Because when you bring them off the bench where they should be, they are now playing to earn more play time.
Okay.
They have something to work for. They cannot afford to come out and have 0 points at halftime.
Okay, I got you.
Because you might not play in the first half the next game if you do that. See what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
So if you put these players where they belong, I actually believe that it will benefit the team more, and then we can blow everybody out by 40 to 50 points the way we should be, the way that the USA women's team usually does, because that's what they do. They play their veterans majority of the game. Sometimes their bench doesn't even barely touch the floor, even though they're amazing players. I mean, Sabrina Ionescu, she could be starting. She doesn't get that much play time.
Bro.
And they win by what they're supposed to. We don't win by what we're supposed to because we don't start the game how we're supposed to.
What I would like to do, especially for the next video, because they have these numbers for, like, I know all other teams. They like figure out like what lineup has the best plus minus. That'd be like just period. That'd be super interesting. I really want to see that. I want to see like what lineup out the floor. I wonder if I can see plus minus. There's no ESPN for this, so I don't know how. I can't even find like the actual basketball stats. I want to see if they have like a plus minus for all of the. Let's just go Serbia, right? Well,
yeah.
Let's say Serbia. Oh, they don't have plus minus on here either. That's upsetting.
It's not. It's kind of been hard to, track all of these different things for the Olympics. I feel like they're not as available.
Yeah.
But
oh well, hey, we can at least we're both root for the same team, brother.
Exactly. That's all that really matters. We're gonna get some more numbers and everything for next time. We're gonna see how the Brazil game on Tuesday at 1:30.
Yeah,
we're gonna see how this goes. We're gonna see who starts. We're gonna see, if anybody's telling him how horrible he's doing.
Oh, he's hearing it.
I know he is. Stephen A. Stephen A. Thank you, man. That's what Steve needs to hear. He needs to hear the brutal, honest truth from somebody that can actually reach him, that, he can actually hear it and it gets back to him. And someone where he knows if he continues to do the same thing, he's just going to hear more and more of how much of an idiot he is. So thank you, Stephen A. I'm ready for that game versus Brazil. Let's be honest. So how much do you think they should win by?
I haven't even heard about anybody in Brazil. So this better be like one of those 95-53 games.
40 points?
Yeah, it better be one of those.
It better be. I think, honestly, because I have paid a little bit of attention to Brazil, They have a good big man who, if Joel starts, will probably look good. But if AD starts, probably won't look all that great. Um, but that's all that they really have. With that being said, we should be up 30 at halftime. I'm being so serious. We should be up 30 points on half. They don't really have anybody that could score. I mean, nobody has anybody that can defend USA, the
Yeah.
way to hold us to under 60 points at halftime. We should be able to
Yeah.
get 60 at halftime. I think they shouldn't be able to get more than 30. I mean, that big guy likes to get in foul trouble. He'll probably be on the bench. Like I said, depends on if Embiid or AD is starting, but we should be up 20 to 30. I'll say 20 to 30 at halftime. And we should win the game by 50 to 60 points. If we don't, we got to lock in, crunch the numbers just to find out what I've been telling you, that Steve Kerr is an awful coach and that we should have the best players starting. I mean, we'll see what the numbers look like, and we'll see what the game looks like, and we'll talk about that after the game.
And trust me, I'll tell you what's a real good example for what you were saying earlier. Because I lived through it, and it's D-line. D-line's the best. That's the best way to use it, because D-line, out of all the position groups in football, that's the position where the coaches will say they want to keep people fresh. So like you can be a starter, like you could be a second stringer and get more reps than the first string. And I used to hate that, but like it's especially because they would tell you that, like, if you saw yourself second or third, and I'd be like mad about it. And he's like, you don't know how the game could go. It's about matchups. You might get more reps. And I'm like, nah, bro. I want to start out. Like, I don't care. Like, it got to a point where I almost didn't care if I got less reps, but let me start out for real. Like, just let me start out. I don't care about the extra reps. But in the coach's mind, they're like, oh, we want to keep everybody fresh, and we want to make sure that every unit we put out there is. That's how a lot of D-line coaches think. I don't like the mentality. I get it, but I don't like it. But then again, nobody that's not playing is going to like that. So Steve Kerr's going to have to hear a lot of people's mouths.
No, I definitely see what you're saying. That's an interesting take. That is one thing I'll say though. As far as team sports go, because your offense is completely separate than your defense, um, those are two sports that are kind of hard to compare. Let me just, since you mentioned that, which I kind of remember that happening. Let me talk about the game that you should remember, playing Bloomington High School. Me and coach not seeing eye to eye, so I'm coming off the bench. We go down by about 10 points. And what does the student section do?
Chanting.
The chant of what?
Peasy, peasy.
We want Peasy. We want Peasy. Why do they chant that? Because I should be in the starting lineup, and we probably wouldn't be down by 10 points. What happens when I go in the game? We come back. The game goes down to the line. We lost by 1 point because CJ shot the three with his foot on the line.
Oh, no.
So when the best players don't start, you put yourself in a position where the game probably will come down to the end of the line, where then you'll have your best players on the court. And there's a good term that I'm not sure who made, but I respect them a lot. Sometimes it's just a little too late.
All right, folks. You heard it from the man himself. Yeah, heard it from the man himself. That's not a mic drop. I don't know what is, but I tell you what, this makes me excited for the next game. Super interested. I can't wait to see what happens. I can't wait to see the starting lineup, because half the video is going to be complete. As soon as I see the starting lineup, I'm going to know what most of the video is going to be about.
Yeah, absolutely right. Especially if Jason Tatum is in there. Man.
All right, PG, thanks for giving me an hour, 10 minutes of your Sunday night, man. You have a good week. We will touch back on Tuesday or Wednesday night.
Yes, sir. I'll be talking with you soon, man.
Yes, sir. All right, bro. Peace out. Thank you guys for watching.
Peace, man.